Hey folks, it's Global Politics with Jim Martin. I wanted to talk today briefly about the situation in Syria and the rapid advance of some guerrilla armies against the regime of Assad. This kind of took a lot of people off guard. I don't think anybody really saw this coming, and their success has been quite dramatic. Really caught the principal backers of Syria on the back foot too. Syria has been an incredibly difficult regime for a long time. When Assad took power from his dad, he was initially thought perhaps to be some sort of reformer. However, he quickly became quite the bad guy. Now, when we move forward to the Syrian civil war, which started during the Arab Spring, you see all kinds of atrocities, shooting of unarmed protesters, torture, even the use of chemical weapons during the Obama administration, a situation which the Obama administration criticized and made some threats, but ultimately didn't do a whole lot about. After some time, Syria's backers, Iran and Russia, supplied enough weapons, enough even troops, and in Iran's case, the backing of Hezbollah, to oppress all of the various resistance groups that had come together to form the guerrilla armies that were fighting against the Syrian regime. Now, despite that, substantial sections of the country have remained under the control of a variety of groups. The Kurds in the northeastern section of the country, which the Turks don't like, the kind of amalgamation of jihadist groups, successor Al-Qaeda affiliates, ISIS wannabes, and even just regular people who just want this to be over with. What has happened is that some of these groups, not all, some have coalesced around kind of a Al-Qaeda successor group, which is trying to rebrand itself as being warm and friendly. And these groups have the backing of a variety of players in the region. The Syrian regime has backing of a sort from some other countries in the region, but not really enough to prevent the rapid control of sections of territory. Aleppo being one, Homs being another. Right now, about 2/3 of the country does not lie in the control or even influence of the Syrian regime. What does this mean long term? Perhaps we've already seen Russia, which has some number of troops, some number of aircraft located in Syria, launch some airstrikes and things of this nature. But given the broad swath of territory that has been lost just in a week, it's hard to say that that's going to have a lot of effect. And it's difficult to imagine Russia taking their eye off of Ukraine to supply enough weapons to be able to really do anything much. On the other hand, Iran through Hezbollah has been decimated by the recent Israeli attacks and really has their hands full just surviving on their own. So Syria and the armed forces loyal to Assad are kind of all that's left. Okay then, so I shot this video on Friday, December 6th, and it is now Sunday morning, about 7 a.m. on Sunday, December 8th, and the Syrian regime has fallen. The rebels have won. Al-Assad and his family have fled for Russia, presumably with a substantial portion of whatever remained of the Syrian treasury, and now we're in a different phase. And sometimes these events can really spin out like this very, very quickly. This has all been like 10 days, start to finish. So what happens next? Well, the folks that have won are hardly the Continental Army of George Washington in 1781. This is an amalgamation of some pretty bad dudes and some regular folks too. So we'll see how this works out. What might happen next in terms of the regional powers? Syria is not Afghanistan. It lies at a major crossroads. It's a Mediterranean nation. It borders Turkey to the north, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, and Israel. So difficult situation with a lot of powers at play here. And even the United States has a small base on the border of Jordan in the eastern desert areas. France also has interests there. Is France likely to intervene at this point and try to do something to help shape the post-revolution Syria? Unlikely at this point because France's government just fell. The United States, not in the middle of a political transition of their own, a presidential transition. So, to that end, the Turks seem most likely to be able to wield some positive influence in accordance with their own interests. So, we'll see what happens next. It's certainly likely to be quite chaotic. It's hard to know where this situation goes moving forward. Like the Middle East, in all ways, this is an incredibly complex web of alliances of convenience and global politics. Hope you all are having a great day, and please like and subscribe. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.